come down here and let's map this out. And let me show you how this might work, right? So the first touch point here is going to be social video, right? The second touch point is going to be landing page. The third touch point that nobody's getting to is the, what was at the top of that page? It was like start a project.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and we'll call that the start a project form. What's supposed to happen after the start a project form? It's like a phone call, probably.
Yeah, I guess they'll choose the day, best time to call you. It would be a phone call, correct?
Okay, so let's think for a minute, and we'll forget about this down at the bottom for right now. So the other thing you can do with the journey map is you can actually turn it into a content map. So for each area of the video, or for each step along the journey, you might have some content ideas that say, okay, during this social video here, what are some content ideas? So let's go back, and let me tell you one of the, I know that you've talked to the client, but have you talked to any customers yet?
No, none whatsoever.
Okay, so this is what user-centered design is. It means talking to the users. The thing that you've got to communicate and convince your client of is it doesn't really matter what they think of the website. If it's not working, if people aren't getting what they need from it, then we've got to change the approach. And instead of asking the client what they want, which doesn't matter at the end of the day, it only matters what customers want. So I would say you've got to find a way to talk to some customers. A great way to do this is to talk to customers they already have. And it doesn't have to be super formal. Just get in a room with them and say, hey, how did you find out about us? Was it social video? My guess is that a much more important thing for them is not social video, but the place where this really starts is probably word of mouth. They have somebody that knows somebody that does a thing, yada, yada, yada. Somebody has a need and they get forwarded to the landing page. So my guess is that the social video aspect of it is probably secondary. They want it to be a thing. My question is video the right avenue here? The thing that you showed me, I don't know the answer to the question of what are people trying to gain here. So why would people interact with that video? What are they hoping to gain? I think that's your first problem. Nobody's interacting with it because it doesn't appear at first glance that they have anything to gain from it. So let's go back and share your screen and let me just walk through and I'll share you some of the thoughts that I have on this particular one. I'll stop sharing. When I look at that post, it doesn't speak to the needs of a user. Let's see where, okay, there it is. Doesn't, let's go back to the video itself. Is there content below the video? Or is it just the video itself? I mean, so this is the video, but I mean, somewhere it's in social, you're going to have that ad, right? Can you go back to that screen where it was showing the ad itself? I think it was in a mobile phone. There you go. Okay. So this is the way it's going to display. First off, I saw an angel in the marble and I carved it to set it free. That doesn't speak to a user need. What is a potential customer need that's going to bring them that's going to drive them to be interested in this company?
Well, something in relation to to branding or
Right.
yeah, some kind of agency
Right.
branding need.
So okay, write this down in big letters somewhere. I'm going to teach you how easy design is. The biggest thing is the most important. Whatever, and whatever you want to say, just say it. Don't be cute. Um, being direct and just saying the thing is so much more effective. The phrase that I like to use is obvious always wins. So in my estimation, I would run a test where you literally said, um, uh, exclusive exclusive branding for Christian doctors or whatever it is, right? That has to be wordsmithed, but just say what they do. This whole getting cute with Michelangelo and all this stuff, I don't understand what that means. I think they're trying to be artsy, um, but being artsy in social doesn't work. You just have to say exactly what it is. Bam. Um, and then another aspect of design that's very important is whenever you have a call to action, people should be able to tell you what that call to action is going to do before they click on it. So right now, if I were to skip on this, if I were to click on a CTA, I have no idea what I'm going to. Rojo 032 agency, that doesn't say what they do. Even in the logo, like if you go back over to the logo on the website itself, it doesn't say that it's a branding agency. Like just put what the words branding agency below there, and immediately I get it. The other thing is they've made this entire header. What is the most? Remember, the most important thing is the biggest thing. What is the most important thing according to this landing page?
The Angel and the Marvel. The quote by Michelangelo.
Yeah, Angel and the Marble. Are these the two guys that own the place? Or guy and a girl? I can't tell. Maybe that's a girl. But are these the two people that own this agency?
No, not at all. It seems to be some kind of art that is
Yeah, some
resembling
kind
the
of art,
creation
right?
of men or something.
Yeah. Yeah. This has nothing to do with what I need as a customer. I need a logo. We can do logos. Like literally that would perform better from a channel, from a funnel analysis if you just were clear about what we were doing. So, and then the other thing that they've done here is another way that you indicate what is important is how high you put something on a screen. That's the principle of hierarchy, right? The most important thing at the top, logo at the top, so that you know where you're at. Then you've got what we're telling people is this super important thing that is confusing, and I don't know really what you want me to do with it. Like, okay, cool. I don't need a statue. I need a logo. And so, then the very next thing you tell me is, let's start a project. Well, I don't know who you are. You haven't shown me any samples. I don't know anything about you, and you're already asking to marry me. Like, buy me a drink first. And so, from a funnel perspective, I think the challenge that you've got with this one is this is an example of a site that is built for a client and not a customer. They need to stop worrying about what they want this thing to look like or the artsy kind of thing that they're trying to do. And what you need to tell them is, look, you can do two things. You can do art or you can do design. If you're doing art is self-expression. Paint a painting, carve a statue. Absolutely beautiful. If we're doing design, it doesn't have anything to do with you and self-expression. We have to make some decisions that mean that your customers get what they came here for. And that may mean that you don't like it. But you got to answer the question as a business owner, are you okay with your site performing like, awesome, and you're converting and you're getting calls, or do you want to be an artist? And I mean, those are two kind of dramatically different things. So in cases like this, I generally have a pretty direct, and I always say it with a smile on my face, but I say, hey, what do you think about your website? And then they'll tell me, well, that's why we came to you. I don't know that we really like it. And then I'll say, okay, so the next thing is I don't care. And you don't care either. You just don't know that you don't care yet. It doesn't matter what we think about it. It matters what customers think about it and if it works and if people are calling you and contacting you. Um, so that's the problems that I see just with the first two steps in this deal. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things that I just said. Did anything resonate with you? Have you seen stuff like this before?
Yeah, plenty of times, right? For different industries, where I guess like there has been a very nicely created, and you can tell a big budget website design, and it looks nice and pretty, but it doesn't really adhere to the fundamentals of what exactly I'm looking at whenever I land on it, especially if I clicked on it from an ad into it.
Yeah. The other thing is the contact us. That's another question I have. A lot of users, when they see a contact us form like this, like, hey, give us your telephone number and let us call you. That's gonna deter a certain percentage of people from wanting to do that, right? People don't like to give out their phone number. They're really not looking to be on the phone. That's why they're on the website. They're looking on the web for a reason. So in my mind, I would say the other challenge that you got here is it's like contact us, because that's what they want users to do, but that's not what users want to do. Users come to this site because they want to see the work. I would even venture a guess that if you started with the gallery, people would love it, right? Because they came here to see the work that they could potentially do. The other question that I have is like, there's also a gallery and work, which in my mind is the gallery. I guess they do art as well. So I'm a little confused with the heading. But ultimately, I think that you just got to get them, like if you create this kind of journey map and explain to them, like, here are some pain points that users are going to hit through this process. Yeah, see, there's a gallery and then there's work, which looks like a gallery. So that's the other question that I have is like, what's the difference between gallery and work? Do you really need both of them? And why is this not the homepage? With a big headline at the top that says, here's all of the great Christian-run companies that we've designed for, right? I mean, like literally you could put those words at the top with this, and I think they'd get more interest.
I 100% agree with you on that, Griff. Just the way you
Yeah.
kind of already expressed it. Yeah, but this it had a big thing up here that says exactly what we do, and you already have examples here. I'm more compelled to take an action on this here if it had something like that on top than the current homepage that, as you mentioned, yes, it does.
Yeah. The other thing is really go talk to some customers, because so I used to work in this market. I used to actually work for Jim Leininger back in the day at Kinetic Concepts, who's squarely in your group. And one of the things that I believe about this group or about these kind of people, it would help them to know that they've done work similar to the work that they're bringing, right? So if there were some way to have like a way to sort or to search projects, or not even really search, but just like it says churches, banks, theme parks. I mean, whatever the different types of brandings that they've done, and you can click on them and see the different categories that they're involved in. I think that would really help customers too, because they're looking. What you want to do is get a quick way to get out of the way and let people see the things that are in their mind. If they're thinking, oh, I need a design for my medical practice, and then it says medical there, and they click on that. Oh, here's a bunch of medical logos. Okay, these guys can definitely help me. So that's the other thing is some sort of a sort bar up there. I think would be helpful.
Correct.
But the way that we would communicate this to a customer, and I'm going to take back control here real quick, is we would do something along these lines where we would say like, and let's move over here to the, all right, so the potential gain point here, what am I trying to do is I get to see